Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update on this very humid January 6, 2024. Absolutely just disgusting day and absolutely terrible air quality. Let me just back this up. This kind of shows you the haze that we have over our area, too. Very poor air quality. I'm not sure where this haze is coming from. Looks like it's a little better than north, but the air quality is pretty bad. And over here, you can see some showers and thunderstorms that did develop off the South Shore. So we're going to go and look at the radar. And take a look at them right now. You can see here they are right here. I'll just show you what happened. So, yeah, they popped up right off Long Beach, actually. Too bad. I was thinking of going to Long Beach. I would have had a nice close-up view of these storms. But I decided not to because it was just, there wasn't much of a breeze out there. It's just very muggy everywhere, even on the South Shore. Well, it was a little cooler there. It was very, very muggy. And then I'll just show you what the sky looked like today here. The sunset, first of all, you could see just the poor air quality that we had today. Really poor air quality. I wonder if this is due to some wildfire smoke or something that we're dealing with here. And then the clouds, we had some growing cumulus and congestus, and then those cumulus congestus clouds became some cumulonimbus clouds. Yeah, actually, this was a little later on, around 9 o'clock. You could see the thunderhead over there, right there. There it is, right there. Let's see if we can get a decent picture. Right there we go. The thunderhead that was off to the south there. Very nice looking thunderhead there. Thunderstorm right there. There's some faint flashes of lightning in that cumulonimbus cloud, but nothing really that impressive. So let's take a look at some of these muggy conditions that we got out there. Temperatures are generally in the mid-70s. If you're on the South Shore, you got 70s. But if you're in the middle of the island, it's close to 80 degrees still in the middle of the island. Farmingdale is 75, I guess. Maybe not over there, but Central Nassau is still around 80. The alley is still 80 degrees. And yeah, I have both ACs cranking in there, and they're still struggling. Yeah, that's how hot it is here. The humidity makes it very hard for them to really, and you can see these dew points are really up there into the mid-70s, just really oppressively humid conditions and very poor air quality as well. You see the heat advisory, that's in effect for, let's see if that stays. Air quality alerts in effect till Sunday. I don't know about the heat advisory, but the air quality alert remains in effect for Sunday, but I don't see anything about the heat advisory. So it looks like the air quality alert will just be in effect. Look at this. City's still around 84 in Central Park right now, and 82 in Toms River, dew point 75. It was absolutely an oppressive day there today. So let's take a look at our highs, and then we'll go over the dew points today. Highs, again, Long Island. They even had some cloud cover and some fog on the east end, so that kept them in the 70s. Moving further west across central Suffolk, you're in the low 80s. South Shore in the low 80s. Upper 70s right at the beach. But Central Nassau, upper 80s. It was a little more brutal over here. You can see upper 80s for highs. And let's see. It hit 86 at Farmingdale. No, that's not. That's the air. The airport only got up to 81. Interesting. But here in Central Nassau, upper 80s and even maybe some low 90s even on the North Shore. So it's kind of hot here. 92 at LaGuardia and even 81 at JFK. That's not JFK. 90 at Central Park. And then let's go into New Jersey right now where they had some low 90s. Now, the northern part of New Jersey had some clouds and showers. The southern part didn't quite as much. So 96, some mid-90s, 93 in the... so not quite as hot in Jersey as it was yesterday along the coast. But as you go inland, yeah, near 100 in Philadelphia. So absolutely brutal. I'm wondering if that's a record or not, but that's absolutely brutal. Of course, the lows will be nothing to write home about. Generally mid-70s across the area. Yep, mid-70s pretty much across the area. So we'll look at some of the way. We'll see how bad it got in Ocean County today. Let's go to Robert Miller Air Park right now because I think they might have had a dew point of 80 degrees. Yeah, look at these dew points here. Again, mid-70s. Yep. Yep, look at that. Dew point, here we go. 450. 93 with a dew point of 81 degrees. That means it felt like 114 degrees in Toms River today. And look, the dew points were in the 80s. Low 80 degree dew points in New Jersey. That is unheard of. And you can see haze was being reported as well. That might have been due to some wildfire smoke. Absolutely horrible conditions in Jersey today. Look at these dew points. Very, very high. Very high. They came down a little bit. But yeah, these are extremely high dew points for Robert J. Miller Air Park. Man, that is just oppressive. And let's let's see elsewhere in Jersey. Let's see how they did at Atlantic City Airport. I'm getting a headache just looking at these dew points. Let's see, they get up to 91. Let's see what if their dew points were as bad. No, not quite as bad as Tom's River's. Tom's River was worse. That's really. I think they had a couple of showers around that area, which actually they were so light they just made the humidity even worse. I think there were a couple of showers that did develop over that area, and we can do the radar rewind and show you that. Take this over to Vent to Sky. We'll show you today. There were a couple of showers that did develop over the Jersey Shore. You can see one that looks like the thunderstorm that went just to the north of Tom's River there, over Point Pleasant and Brick. And then another one that popped up. The air was just so humid, so saturated, and just, just horrible. Horrible air mass. Absolutely some of the worst air you could possibly imagine today. So this is like the kind of air you have in India or something. I mean, this is just, this is like real deep tropical conditions here. Let's go to the CONUS view, show you the whole country. And you can see there's Beryl, still a tropical storm, but it's going to strengthen. Looks like we do have is that a wildfire going on there? We'll take a look at the west here, because you can see there's not you can't even buy a cloud. It's kind of hazy with all the wildfire smoke. And I'll just show you where the wildfire smoke we're dealing with this coming from. And it's not really coming from, some of it might have been coming from New Jersey. Here's Beryl, by the way. Yeah, it's coming from the Central American area, I think, that the smoke is coming from. And maybe there's a little Sahara dust in there as well. Oh, yeah. That looks like a big fire that just, let's go to the Southern Rockies here. Oh, yeah, huge fire. This is, what is this, Utah, I think? It's Arizona. This is Utah, I think. Yeah, there's a huge wildfire going in Utah right now. Yeah, that's a huge fire. That's huge. That just blew up. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it. You can watch it blow up here. That boom. That's crazy. That's probably creating a pyrocumulonimbus cloud too, I bet. Would not surprise me. You can see all the haze over California as well if you look at the Pacific coast. Again, with all the wildfire smoke and the heat that they're going through right now. You can see a little bit of haze, especially in the valley. See this little dome-shaped thing? The valley here. This is where a lot of the heat gets trapped. Yeah, I can see a wildfire over here in Northern California. Another one in Washington State. So, yeah, it's a bad, bad, bad situation there. And if we pan this out, you'll see the heat continues on in California. Excessive heat watches and excessive heat warnings and red flag warnings and all this other stuff still going on here. Just crazy kinds of heat you have out here. We'll go look at the high temperatures today, what they got up to today over there. And, yep, 100s again. And those 100s stretch into Oregon and even parts of Washington State, which is crazy. And you can see all the excessive heat watches and the excessive heat warnings that go into our area. So let's go and look at our climate statistics. You see there's the gray, by the way. There's the gray that they have over our area, which means poor air quality. No surprise. It's very stagnant. There's not a lot of wind out there, which makes it feel... There's those storms again that developed off the South Shore. It looks like Connecticut got hit a little harder today. Let's go to the climate conditions for today. Ice slip had a high of 82 and a low of 74. Which just the 82 is not that warm, right? That's actually the average high. But the low of 74 puts us 7 degrees above normal for the low and 4 degrees above normal for the day. When you look at Central Park, 92 was the high there, so they were running 6 degrees above normal for the day there. And then Newark got up to 93. So yeah, very, very hot. Very hot day. Just a brutal day across the area here. Brutal day. Yeah, so actually, yeah, this is the wildfire. Actually, it's 4,000 acres. It's still burning right now. So there's a wildfire in New Jersey. I'm thinking that may be where some of the smoke was in the air today. But there was a wildfire in New Jersey. We'll take a look and run this a little longer and see if we can see the wildfire. It's right over at Wharton. Right over here. You might be able to see a little bit of it right there. But yeah, that's the wildfire right there in the Pine Barrens right there. So it's called the Tea Time Hill. So we can go to New Jersey Forest Fire Service, NJFFS, and you can see here it is spread to 6,000. I'll share it. Actually, it's 65%, and it's spread to 4,000 acres. So it's a massive wildfire, and I'll share this in the link here, obviously. And then we have wildfires in Utah as well going on. So yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. So let's go take a look and talk about Beryl here. Go to the National Hurricane Center, which I thought I put up. And you can see this is the weather map. You can see, yep, we've got this front that's just going to wash out over us. There's Beryl. So let's go here. And I'm only going to cover the weather from now till tomorrow. And we'll talk more about the longer range. So tropical storm for Beryl. Still tropical storm. Surprised it hasn't re-intensified yet, but it could strengthen very rapidly once it gets over those warmer waters. So its location is 24.4 north, 93.7 west, and it's about 330 miles southeast of Corpus Christi, Texas. So let's go to the... And it looks like it's going to make a landfall sometime later tomorrow night. So I think definitely by tomorrow night we're going to be talking about a Hurricane Beryl, and it could be strong. It could be stronger than a Category 1. I don't know. I wouldn't even be surprised if it could even become a major hurricane again. You can't write anything off with these warm water temperatures. All right. So let's go take a look at what Beryl looks like on the satellite here. And we'll go here. We'll go to Mesostorms, Beryl. So here's Beryl, looking very well organized here. Yeah, I think it's going to get itself together again. You do see, it looks like a front trying to come through, but yeah, it looks like it's definitely getting itself very, very organized out over the water. I see that convection going on again. You have plenty of warm water that it has to work with, and it's still got time. So that, again, it'll be later tomorrow night that it will make a landfall. Let's look at some of the forecast models when it comes to Beryl here. We'll go here. This is Tropical Storm Beryl here. It looks like it kind of weakened there a little bit, though. It was kind of looking good, and then it kind of pulsed down again. But it could pulse back up again. You know what? It's hitting some shear, and I think that might be the only thing that might be holding it back at this point. But let's go look at the models here, and you can see they've shifted the path now to around Galveston, Texas now. Or maybe a little more further up the coast. Oh no, Galveston's over here, but it's somewhere between Galveston and Brownsville. And this is where you're going to have this landfall here. So, and you can see that we may get some of the remnants of the moisture later on in the week, but we'll talk about that. Use the models. And a lot of them don't even take it up to a Cat 1 anymore, so maybe it'll stay a tropical storm. But I'm going to expect the unexpected here with those warm water temperatures for sure. The reason the models could be holding it back, again, is because of some shear. So if we look at the... let's go to this. Nope, not that. This. You'll see that there is some wind shear over here. So some. It's not terrible, but there is some wind shear. So you can also see something over here, which is kind of interesting, too. But I'll talk more about that tomorrow night. So let's talk about our weather for tomorrow. HRRR, let's go to that. Obviously, shower and thunderstorm activity will die down for tomorrow. Can't rule an isolated shower or thunderstorm possible because it's not really going to, the humidity is not going to come down that much with that front kind of just washing over us, maybe being later in the afternoon and the early evening. You'll see what I mean, what's going to happen with this front, if you can call it that here. So look at these ridiculous dew points that we have over our area. So they drop a little bit tomorrow, but Not by all that much. The dry air just kind of gets stuck. So if you really want to see lowered humidity, you're going to have to go up into the Poconos or the Adirondacks, because other than that, the front's just going to get stuck over. It's just going to stall out, so we're already going to see slightly lower dew points, particularly if you're, maybe Nassau County more likely than New Jersey or Suffolk. But you'll see very light winds again, which is going to make it feel worse. Tomorrow really is not going to be that much of an improvement over today. You can see though that the winds do go a little more southeasterly, but they're light. So if you're really going to get the cooling effect of the breeze, you got to be right on the water. The temperatures tonight, they're not going to drop much, and then tomorrow's going to be hotter than today. I think. For Long Island, I think mid to upper 80s, even out in Suffolk, I think. And we'll probably see 90 here in Nassau County, especially in my area. Jersey, you'll be into the 90s, of course. It's not going to be nice at all. So the skies, lastly, let's do that. And you'll see here that the skies, we're going to have some clouds around for tomorrow. And probably some of that haze again. Don't be surprised if that sticks around too. We'll talk more about the long range tomorrow night. But yeah, an absolutely just disgustingly stifling day. This is the worst kind of air out there. You just don't feel well at all. So have a good night.